Hello everyone, and welcome back to Round 1 Back 9 MPO feature card coverage of the 2023 PCS Open presented by Innova. We are here in Vestnes, Norway for the Øverås Diskgolfpark, and we've got BigBarri commentary bringing you the action here in beautiful, gorgeous, stunning Norway.
Yeah, we got some hot scores out here on the front nine. Back nine's gonna get interesting. It's definitely the harder of the nine. I'm most looking forward to not this back nine, but the final nine back nine, because I feel like it's gonna be super tight no matter what.
Always is.
And the back nine here has a lot of score separation.
Yeah.
A lot of score, like two-stroke swings here and there. And it brings the possibility of somebody shooting 9-8 to 8 under.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting tournament to watch unfold. Let's get the back nine started here. Hole 10, the hole averages pi actually, 3.14. It is the sixth most difficult hole, and it is a very tricky line. There's going to be all sorts of creative ways for people to try to find a solution to this very challenging hole. There is a dead straight option that I don't think you're going to see anyone go with.
Yeah. This is a pooper scooper hole. This hole's not good. It's just not good. I'm sorry. I couldn't wait to call this hole out.
It's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet.
Clearly, it's fresh. It's brand new.
They could do brand new pooper scooper.
Well,
I like the idea. I do.
Sure.
I really like the idea. This is as close as you're gonna get. Circle's edge, maybe with a perfectly thrown.
A backhand shot can't get much closer than that. There is a forehand flex option.
Oh no.
And McBeth he's heading to Never Land. I don't know where this is gonna finish. But if you're off the fairway like McBeth is about to be, it gets dicey.
You can do like a forehand late flip.
That's what I was saying.
Parks it, yeah.
The shape is a forehand that holds a long turn and then gets out of that turn right at the end and flexes back. But we're talking pinpoint accuracy. And McBeth has to go skyward just to get back. And look at that, he has parked it.
Barsby's shot where he ended up right here, this is typical.
Yeah,
this is like a typical, pretty good shot too.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, man, he's good at those little throw-ins, but he's gonna have to earn another one. He keeps ripping at it. I mean, you're gonna see birdies on this, but it's gonna be, nobody's parking this unless you're getting super lucky. Calvin with a great birdie. I mean, that's throwing it to 40 feet then making the putt.
Wow.
This is how you play the hole.
Wow, incredible.
How many birdies did we have on it?
Actually, an annoying amount, Paul. An annoying amount.
Well, that's usually the case.
The annoying amount is 15% of the field. There's 100 players, so you do the math. And if you can't, that's 15 players.
That's 10 too many, in my opinion.
It truly is surprising. I mean, people are going to make those 49, 50 footers. And as you go down the stats, you see a lot of that. A lot of players making those putts from mid to deep C2 range.
Yeah.
Not many players in the circle. I mean, no one parked. Only 3 players that I can see inside the 11 to 22 range, and that's just really getting it done off the tee. Some great starts out there. Luke Sampson keeping it going, 7 through 10.
Now this hole.
This one's tricky.
Hole 11 is 364. This is actually playing as an island right here. You can see where the stakes are. That's where the island starts, and it meanders around in some weird shape. But ours is this back pin. There's a flex shot, there's a sidearm, there's also a turnover.
It's a hazard.
And it's a hazard, yes.
Yes, it's not a typical out of bounds. And Eagle has gone super flex turnover with an overstable disc. And look at that drive, look at that result. Unbelievable.
That is a great play there. Surprised to see Calvin going sidearm, kinda.
Yeah, I do not look at this as a sidearm hole, just because the OB is so easy to reach on either side. Calvin has played that one safe and short, and the way he's putting right now, I think that's a fantastic play.
Yeah, why not? You're not going sidearm?
I am, but that's because I go sidearm everywhere, bro.
Ooh.
McBeth pushing it to the limit.
Those guys were super happy about it. I actually throw the flex play like Eagle.
I'm thinking about it after seeing the thing that we didn't really quite see with our drone here or with any of these shots is that there is a big evergreen tree left side that is in the perfect pathway to the basket with the forehand. And it's also hanging out over the hazard area.
Ew. It was a layup. We'll just say that.
I'm going to call that a layup.
Smart.
Yeah, why would you want to go for this one when you've made the last 5 50-footers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the last bonus hole.
Yeah.
No reason to throw one away.
Totally lay one up.
Eagle with a great
Beautiful
birdie.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a nice.
He's on a heater. Yeah. Uncharacteristically low misses from both McBeth and Calvin. But yeah, this is one I think that it might not appear tricky on the screen, but it is a hole where you really have to come up with a solid game plan going into this hole. Eagle clearly executed that game plan better than anyone else, and he takes the only birdie. And we're about to get into certified bruiser. I mean, this is one of the harder holes you'll ever play. Par 4, the average is, wait for it, 5.23. 1 stroke, 0.23 over par. Straight shot off the tee to land in the mulch, and from there you go downhill to this pin. Pretty simple, right? Absolutely wrong. It is a treacherous hole. Tee-pad is a little bit slick as well. And we're going to see Eagle go for the back edge spike hyzer play.
It's all a bunch of people playing this, and it works if you can throw it to the moon.
And I don't think he's got enough forward momentum to get to the landing zone. A little bit too focused on the high and not enough forward.
Good.
Yeah, seriously, get punished, dude.
It was a pretty good idea. This is also really good, but he has a decision to make. Does he want to lay it up short or go for it? That's a tough go for it, but I think he's going to do it.
I did the same thing Paul did, almost exactly. If he stays in bounds, it's the same exact thing I did. There is a little drop off at the end of this tee box here that we're seeing a ton of people slip on. Gregg's a little bit early.
Good kick.
Very good kick, and I think from there he has to lay up.
Yeah, I think so. I think also a way to play it is sidearm to the corner, sidearm to the bottom, sidearm over.
I think you're going to see this hole played at a lower scoring average in round 2, depending on the conditions, with people kind of learning what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Them learning that it's super dangerous and par's good.
Yeah, par's fantastic. I mean, if you get a par, you've gotten over a stroke on the field average.
Crazy. With that being said, there were 19 birdies, or 32 birdies out of a 34 field.
And McBeth is showing you why this hole is so difficult.
Yeah.
And he's looking at a double bogey best now.
I like this.
Gregg goes for it, gets aggressive, and spikes and bounds safe. Incredible. It's just the entryway here is so tight. Got to be precise. Calvin, a little bit of footing issue. And if that gets through, it's safe, and it does not, so he is going to go down to the bottom of the hill and progress from there. Or the bottom of this area, not the bottom of the hill. Bottom of the hill would be incredible.
I think Eagle is almost like you want to get caught up early.
Yeah.
So that you can just lay up.
Make the smart play.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because it does seem so easy to get through there, and then those trees get you.
McBeth needs to get up and down here for the 6. He's thrown a good shot. This looks to be good. It's very good.
That's it. You got to earn that one from 25 up the hill, though. And this hole does get a little breezy, too. See those flags over there?
Now that...
It's a good shot.
And Calvin goes from a really great drive to having to save the bogey.
It's going to be a really good get.
Oh, Gregg, high right.
That was to get a lot of strokes on these guys.
And that was to become the 8th player of the day to birdie. Only 7 people in the field taking the 3 in round 1.
I think this is a fantastic hole. I do wish that the fairway initially was a little cleaned up.
I think it should be cleaned up a little bit, and
Just a little.
The tee pad has to be pristine. Yeah. I can't stress it enough. It is the most frustrating thing when you have to contest yourself with the tee pad to start the hole.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that can happen along the course of how you play a hole. You don't want to have to worry about slipping off the tee, and unfortunately, that just is a characteristic of a tee pad that's in the shade. And this one's in the shade, and you have the turf tees, and a lot of dirt and debris accumulate, and then it doesn't get a lot of sunlight to dry it out.
Hole 13, par 4, 728. You see the landing zone here. OB short. Not a lot of OB to think of except for early left. These guys probably aren't going to have a problem with that. Get to that landing zone where the slope kind of goes down, and then a gradual slope all the way up to this basket right here. Out of bounds right the whole way, which makes the upshot kind of difficult, but this is a softer par 4.
As long as this continues going straight, Eagle's going to love it. A little bit of hyzer is just fine at the end. Oh my gosh, he's gotten across the ditch. That is... What the heck? That's incredible. That's going to be like a 230-foot approach. Like less than that.
This is what you cannot do.
Oh.
You cannot pull it. I did see some people coming close to those over there. Yeah, you got to throw in and out, left to right here to make sure you take those out of play, or over the top like this.
Yeah, you like this tee shot. It is coming in a bit wide. The tree there helpful. Calvin's going to be about 270 to 280.
We're looking right at it. See if McBeth takes the wide hyzer. He does.
Yeah.
Get over that.
Yep, I think he's going to clear it just barely. This is pretty much ideal. Oh, wow. Up there with Eagle across the ditch. Those are going to be routine pitches up the hill.
Yeah.
Hit this and where's the dip? Way up there. I think it kind of like shot out. Yeah. Right in here somewhere. Yeah. Okay.
Gregg hoping to just get back into position so he can save his par. And a green flag has been given.
Here's the hyzer. You just got to miss the trees coming in. They can get a little grabby like that.
Grabby indeed. Calvin would like to have that one back, I'm sure. Just a moment ago, we had a little Joey Tamale sighting out here, double dutying, working for the Disc Golf Network, and also playing, starting the round off early with a 7-under, which was in the lead for a long time. Shout out to Joey Tamale for playing great.
Yeah, let's go, Joey. Tamales.
And McBeth showing you how routine that uphill approach was for him.
Ooh, this looks pulled.
Eagle, is that OB?
That's...
Oh my goodness. I mean, look how far that tee shot was. He actually had a tricky approach.
That's a brutal mistake. Because he's so close.
You just,
that's a brutal mistake. But he'll be able to clean that up maybe.
You'd hope so. That would be a very unfortunate bogey. And Eagle doesn't make this. This is going to be a very tough bogey to take. And it is going to be a bogey. Who would have ever thought with that drive?
I mean, that's possibly the best drive ever thrown on the hole.
Yeah, I mean, the longest.
Ever.
Yeah, that's incredible. very surprising. Calvin does clean up his par. Avoids going bogey on 12 and 13. And McBeth picks up the only birdie on the card. And a double bogey for Gregg. I mean, you just had said that the hole was kind of soft, and so far it's played as the most difficult hole for our featured group in round 1.
Yeah, what is that? Probably around middle of the pack as far as average?
Yeah, it's, I think, the 10th hardest, right there in the middle. 3.96 average, playing just barely below par, but
Yeah.
that's partly due to the way that our lead card or feature card just played it. Hole 14, par 3, 407. As we saw a new name enter the leaderboard there, a name that I actually didn't recognize. Good for that person.
Good for the person playing very well on the screen.
We'll give them a shout out in a moment. I don't know exactly who that was. McBeth going for the late turnover backhand, and why not when you can do that?
That was so good. Can't really see it from this angle, but those trees are a little close on the left, which makes this backhand tight.
It
You
really does.
gotta, you gotta take it close to those trees in order to get the right width to get the turn, and those are just dime pieces.
This game has got to be so fun for Calvin.
Not all of you. Not all of you. All of you go
Are
in.
you kidding me?
How do you go deep there? It's crazy. This,
Nearly ringing up the ace. And
please, Barsby.
Barsby going with the backhand. That, to me, is a bit of a surprise. I think that could be slightly influenced by the fact that there was a mild headwind, and the forehand seemed very tricky through that line to get there, but still surprised to see Gregg going backhand here. Not surprised to see him do that.
Well, he needs to get it going.
Right,
He's been needing to get it going for a while. He's had a lot of those little jumpers right at that distance. We're accustomed to seeing him make those. Eagle, though, a little low there. That's surprising. Been putting well today.
yeah,
Back-to-back holes.
he's left a lot of meat in the bone in the last 2 holes. I mean, 2 strokes on the prior hole, 1 on this hole. Given 3 back to the field just by missed approaches and missed putts in 13 and 14. Stellar drives from McBeth and Calvin, and a great putt from Gregg to take the birdies on hole 14. Napak. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I don't know what country they're from. But they're out there hanging in there with the big boys here in America. Hole 15, this has got to be, the second most difficult hole in the course. 846 par 4. Do you think it's a big tee shot here, or are you trying to play a pitch up and then throw from there?
Depends on the wind, really. I think in this wind, these guys are going to have to try to not go too far, I think.
So McBeth does go for the big turnover here, going
Yeah,
down
but
the middle.
This could get to the very edge of the, no,
That's just right in
that's
the
sweet
pinch
spot.
point. That's it's past the pinch point. That's a fantastic drive.
Yeah.
The longer it goes, the wider the fairway gets. Calvin overturning, but that's just fine. He's going to be probably 400 plus feet to the pin, though.
This thing needs help.
Yeah, this is not going to get enough help, I don't believe.
Oh.
Well, it's
Good dig.
Good
Very
dig.
good dig. Oh,
Eagle just a good 7% power, 590. That is absolutely blasted. That should set up somewhere in the range of 300 to 330 to the pin.
yeah, they're just throwing it past that spot where I was like,
Yeah.
you needed. If you throw it too far, then it becomes kind of tough.
Super aggressive, and once again, hanging on for dear life at the edge of OB. Gregg is playing this one as close to the edge as you can possibly do it without going out of bounds. And Calvin goes skyward here on his approach. And lands it safe. Just short of the wall, I believe. That'll be roughly in the 30-foot range.
I like this. Sidearm play out over the OB should be pretty good, and it is.
Got to be careful on the backside of the screen. The OB is only 10.5 meters behind the basket, and it slopes down. Eagle just a pitch forehand up the hill there. Just absolutely massive on the tee shot.
That could have been 600.
What a birdie from Calvin. I mean, I definitely don't think, we're not going to see a star frame here, no?
This is tough with that little branch right there.
No, we're not going to see a star frame, but definitely an opportunity right there. 4 players putting for birdie. That's not something you see ever on hole 15.
Yeah, Barsby's 1 inch from giving them the star frame they wanted.
Wow.
Half inch.
That's
Low.
incredible. Certainly would be the first group to ever come through here with all 3s. In the intro, the front 9, we talked about how hole 15 was the hardest hole in Europe last year. They have changed this from a par 5, brought the tee up, made it a par 4 this year. I wouldn't be surprised if hole 12 from round 1 this year becomes the hardest hole in Europe this year, because that hole was averaging
Well over par. Yeah.
1.25 over par is incredible.
Calvin gets to 9. Hole 16, par 4, 607. Out of bounds left, meandering up this hill. Up right, safe. If you go really far right and up the hill where they're not really showing you there's out of bounds for the tee shot, a lot of people are going to try to get down into the valley with the backhand. Especially on this card, that's very far. But if you just land anywhere on this road, this gravel road,
Yep.
you're going to be able to pitch down and have some sort of shot into pretty fast green. Pretty fast green. There's a couple trees too, and it pinches off at the very end. So very tricky hole.
McBeth, a little too nose up on the tee shot. You want to drive it more like Calvin did, but unfortunately he hits a large boulder. Speaking of Boulder, Colorado, we've got Eagle McMahon. And somewhere in the mix of those 3 is the perfect DNA for that tee shot to get all the way down the hill.
Heard rumors of James Conrad parking this at one point in time.
It's possible to do. You could see it be... Gregg, just too much action there on the tail end. Common result to find OB left.
Oh man, that is some trust, and he pulls it and he gets away with it. It's inbounds. He's not happy with it.
The out of bounds is what makes this one difficult. 4th most difficult hole. I'm surprised to see it averaging 4.38 though. I mean, 0.4 over par usually indicates very, very tricky, and I didn't think that this one would average such a high score. Oh my gosh. Eagle once again, uncharacteristic, unforced error. We've seen several of those from him on the last 4 or 5 holes.
Oh no.
And Gregg is heading OB, but gets
friendly.
A very, very, very friendly roll. Okay, well.
He needed it. He's had it.
Give the former champ a little love there. Looks like Odin had enough punishment and decided to... I think Gregg was saying Nornak there. That's for all my Norwegians. Or Nornak. Paul, I thought that was in.
Tough one to run with that out of bounds. He almost finds it over there on the left, but displaying a nice skill set of being able to throw that hyzer without it getting up and rolling.
And Gregg, that's going to be a happy par. Very, very happy par.
Okay, how many birdies did we even see on this?
20.
20, okay.
Yeah, a fifth of the field is taking the bird. I was the only person on my card to not take the birdie. I just assumed that would be kind of characteristic for the field.
Yeah, we had, I think maybe none.
I
Maybe
kinda,
one.
I kind of played on a baller card, though. They were playing pretty well, so it was hard to really judge what the field might be doing. Calvin separating himself a little bit from the card and from the field. 2 strokes now on the next closest. Continuing his consistent ways, and we are playing on to the 17th hole now. Very unique shape. We're talking about the letter C or the letter U. The tee pad and the basket are only a couple hundred feet apart, but you essentially have to play the hole the way that the drone is flying right now. It is very strange shape. Big forehand hyzer or a big backhand turnover are the 2 tee shots that you're going to see. And good shot from Paul. It's funny in a way that these drives, where they land, is actually farther from the pin than where they're standing on the tee.
Yeah, well-designed hole, I think, because of the fact that you can't, like, do something crazy, little
Yeah, there's no cheater.
thummy in and out super high.
Yeah. You've got to play away from the hole and then play right
Yeah.
back up the hill to the hole. But the basket is literally just 90 degrees right of where they're standing.
Aside from this line.
And if, yeah, this continues holding, then eagle is going to be way up there. That's a great shot. It is a little tight on the right side, but that shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Was that C1 MPO?
No, I think he's 50 feet,
Okay.
70 feet maybe up the hill. This one is.
Yeah, that's C1. That's bullseye one. Over the top play for McBeth, going spike hyzer and coming up woefully short.
Yeah, pretty short there. I would like to see where he just went out of bounds.
There you go, eagle.
You know, I feel like this hole's pretty dang easy. But if
Yeah,
you made that
yeah.
out of bounds right there,
Sure.
kind of force people up that corridor.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that change made in the future. Oh, Gregg
let's
Barsby.
go.
That'll get him back under par.
He's missed so many of these, but yet still he's made 3 long ones today. Like, that's kind of his deal.
You don't see a lot of hyzer putters jamming him in from distance, aside from Gregg Barsby.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a pleasure seeing him make those long putts. And McBeth, maybe not woefully short, just woefully right. It doesn't matter. There's no woes in that scorecard now with the big birdie putt.
And he's back to 8 under.
And we are going to have, I believe, this is our second star frame. But well done from our feature group here. He's so good with the grenade. He's just amazing.
Seen a lot of people kind of get really good with that grenade.
I mean, he's the reason, you know, him and a few other players are the reason why that's got to be a part of the full arsenal if you want to be the best. On the hole 18, par 4, 636 feet, an absolutely fantastic finishing hole. The views are amazing. The green is on a tractor. Yeah, it's pretty incredible stuff. The PCS stands for Protective Coating Services, and this tractor is a product of the PCS paint.
Yeah, you want to get past what he just got past. That's the tough one. It's the tough bush that everybody's trying to get just past. If you do that, then you have a kind of a straighter shot in, shorter shot. There's also an option to lay up before that tree and then go
Oh,
over.
love this. And I thought he was around the tree. That actually puts Calvin in a bit of a tricky spot. I don't know what he's going to try to do from there. And this also doesn't quite get around the bush.
You know, Barsby didn't quite have the push in the side arm today I'm used to seeing. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Like we saw it on one, we saw it on a couple of, like 17's approach, his upshot on a couple ones of, they just didn't have that Barsby.
Ooh. Okay, so he's come up short and right. Calvin has got, is that a Firebird in his hand? Is he still going for the green?
Yeah.
Incredibly aggressive play from Calvin.
He's at 10 under.
And this is early left. I don't think this is going to make it. It is not. That's going to be early out of bounds and not a gimme up and down to save the bogey.
Catches the backside tree there, but
That's an interesting spot to land.
keeps it in bounds, yeah. Seen some people kind of hit that and go left out of bounds or just drop OB.
This has got to slow down, bank off the wall, and look at that. Safe McBeth using the spectator tape. That's incredible. Calvin. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Is he running it? A good shot there from Gregg. How aggressive is Eagle getting here? Just kind of floating it up there. He'll get the engine started there and tap into his par.
All in all, a good round for Calvin.
Excellent round. Especially with the two bogeys.
Yeah, on the back, that could have been something really special. We'll save it for the next one.
11 birdies on this course is giving, that's some serious work.
Yeah.
McBeth also matching the 9 under start from Calvin. And Gregg's going to finish the day at 1 under par. Some early struggles, continued to the middle section of the course, but he's going to get things going round 2 and 3, I'm sure of it. And no slouch of a start for Eagle McMahon. Our feature group doing feature group things here. Couple of 9 unders, 1 8 under, and we saw some serious mistakes in those scores as well. Yet they are our leaders. And they're going to be joined by James Proctor, another fantastic lead card going into round 2 of 3 rounds. Paul Ulibarri right there, just 3 back, as well as a slew of other players.
Joey Tamalsmalls. Him and I tomorrow. Battle.
You guys, and look at that. We've got some 5 unders. Scott Stokely over here doing the European Tour this year as well.
Yeah, I mean, the whole field's stacked. Very close. See 4 unders in 19th. That's 5 back. That's pretty close field here.
It's a Disc Golf Pro Tour. You're going to have tight events.
Yeah.
That's what we've got here from beautiful Norway. That's going to do it for round 1. We'll see you tomorrow for round 2.